Hey guys, welcome to another video. As the title states, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a breakdown on the old silver Mustang here. I've actually had a few inquiries about just information on it, how I did it. Um, I don't know. This is the third Mustang I've turboed. It seems like pretty easy stuff. We did a breakdown of Marco's Mustang when we had put it together. This is a very similar setup, just little improvements here and there. So I'm gonna just go over everything I've done and what it's taken to get here. I guess a little bit of a cost breakdown too. Not a lot of cost involved, but yeah, let's get into it. So here we have the Mustang. Basic setup. Exterior has not been touched. It's just come this way. The only thing I've done is the bumper exit exhaust, and actually just little minor zip tie stitch. Bone stock, unopened, 3.8. The most we've done is like valve cover gaskets, plugs, more of maintenance items, but engine wise, unopened. So I guess we'll start with the hot side here. The driver and the passenger side are actually the stock manifolds, just flipped upside down. It seems to have this natural like upsweep here. And from there I've pretty much used just exhaust piping. With that Mustang, I used pretty much all the piping that I took out from underneath the car. This one, Marco had bought like some exhaust piping kit that I used more on that side. This, obviously, you can see this is older stuff I kind of had laying around. So anyways, stock manifold, just pieces together, one V-band here, just more exhaust. I guess if you look at it from this side, there's actually two curves that upsweep into the T3 flange here. Oh, and I guess while I'm down here, this is where the Wastegate's at. So, sweeps up. This is where it gets tricky. This manifold, you have to modify quite a bit if you want to keep the AC. So if you have AC, this isn't going to work. So you have to modify this manifold, and you have to kind of route everything in between the lines. This one I moved up a little bit, that one I moved down, and just kind of swept right underneath. Also this AC power cable, gotta watch out for that. And as for the hot side, that's pretty much it. Sounds pretty easy, but again, this side is a lot of work. If you don't have AC or you delete AC, your manifold, oh, let me see if I can zoom here, go back, there we go. Your manifold is actually going to get real close right in here. So as you can see, it's way up there. Non-AC, your manifold will be right up in here. So if you do it this way, if you have exhaust piping laying around, this is going to be cheap. You can buy exhaust kits on like Amazon, fairly cheap. The downpipe made the same way, just a couple bends, goes straight down, and as you've seen, out the bumper. Cost of a T3 flange, and then the turbo. This turbo started off actually in my 4Runner, then moved to Marco's turbo car. Marco blew his up, and then it's been passed down to me. This is actually just a CX Racing turbo, nothing crazy. It's lasted great so far. I can't speak on most of their other products. This might just be a, I don't know, unique situation here. Oil drain, pretty basic. Just make it go to the oil pan. You do need to tap the oil pan. Probably one of the worst jobs of this whole situation. Feed line. I did have a custom-made feed line. You can see I got my oil supply from the sending unit down there. Those are all just fittings you can get from like Ace or Park Rose. This is like 1/4 inch nickel copper tubing. Again, this was custom made. I had the company flare that. Works great. I swept it up and around so I didn't have to take this off if I needed to take the belt off. Let's see, that pretty much does it for the hot side. So if we go to the cold side, basic couplers and intercooler setup. I don't have a TIG welder. I don't know how to TIG weld. I've never done it. So most of my curves and bends are natural. Like I bought this one down here is a natural bend, 45 degree. And then down in here I have like a 90 to the intercooler, basic intercooler, nothing crazy. Then I have another 90, and then like 45s that way into here. This is the stock mass airflow sensor out of the stock airbox, just taken out, and flange has been cut off. I think it was on this side. I know you can get like a bolt-on piece. You know, this is usually 4 bolts in a square, and you can get a, you know, piece that bolts on. I didn't want to do any of that, so stock, just modified, and then obviously to the throttle body. Now again, this kit was actually in Marco's car. As you can see, I have the intake air temp sensor there. This car did not require it, so I just left that alone. So some of you may have to worry about that, some of you may not. EGR deleted just to clean it up, make it look nice. It's not going to pass emissions anyways, I don't need to. And let's see, new plugs, gap them tighter. We did have to relocate the battery and move the fuse box because it's more of like right in there. So battery is actually in the trunk. You can see the wire going through there. Now, if you make your own kit, you can work around that or not relocate your battery. It's up to you. Just took a boost source off the intake there. Obviously, just painted the intake, painted the throttle body, wrinkle black the valve covers. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a lot of DIY. You know, spend some time with it. I'm not a fabricator, so this doesn't just come naturally to me. Maybe it's the same situation for you, but I encourage you to explore and try it out, because that's what I've done with this one and that old girl over there. So as far as cost, I'm not going to tell you like what I bought the kit for, but I did. This was Marco's car, his second Mustang that he was going to turbo, but he decided to spend his time and money on his Turbo IS. So bought the car from him, bought the turbo kit from him. If you already have a car and you're wanting to get this set up here, manifolds, obviously free, take off your own car. If you have full exhaust, I encourage you to take off the exhaust, you know, cut the bends out of it, keep everything, because you're going to want, you know, little things like this. Sell the cats if you have them, recoup some money that way. Say you don't have exhaust or you don't have spare laying around, you can spend, I don't know, maybe $200 on an exhaust kit on Amazon. Maybe you'll need 2 kits if you're going to do an extensive downpipe or try and rod it back, you know, to the back of the car. So let's just say $300 on exhaust stuff. This line here was probably like $50, which is ridiculous for a feed line, but I really love that it, you know, it's maneuverable. You know, it won't like drag on the pulley or belt. Turbo, that's up to you. What you want to do. Like a nice Garrett, it's gonna run you like $2,000. I think years and years ago when I bought this, it was like $220. You're gonna need little things like V-bands, 1, 2, 3 of them, that depends on you. I have one here, one right there. Those are like $25 each. T3 flange, you know, you can spend 20 bucks on. Your wastegate down there. I do run the, I call them Emusa. I've heard them as EMUSA. I don't know, but the red Mustang has it. Obviously this one, and my 4Runner runs that wastegate. Seems to be pretty good. I believe they're like 80 bucks, and they come with two 38mm flanges. That is a 38mm wastegate, by the way. You'll need to buy the piping, which is 1.5 inch, if you want to, like, you know, make your own dump tube. You'll need some sort of flange off the turbo, whether that's V-band or 4-bolt, you know, that could be 20 bucks. Nuts, bolts, that kind of thing. Let's see, I would recommend new exhaust manifold gaskets, new plugs. Hot side, I think that pretty much sums that up. So I hope you're keeping tally of the prices here, because I'm not. But maybe I'll add it up as I edit the video and put it in the end, and in this the description maybe. So cold side, you're gonna need couplers. I think I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Obviously you're gonna have to figure out what bends and what sizes. You'll need intercooler piping. Let me back up. Couplers, those can be like 15 to 20 bucks a piece. Maybe 10 if you find a good place to buy them. I think I paid close to $15 a piece. Maybe like these little straights, they're like this big, maybe like 8 bucks or something. But yeah, you get the gist. Intercooler piping, that kind of depends on how you route everything again. Those can be, I don't know, 10 bucks for a straight or 12 bucks for a bend. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 different pieces. So the cold side, you could say like $250 to $275 for piping. Intercooler, I mean, you can get 100 bucks. Wideband, you can kind of see my plug right down in there. I run an AEM wideband, and this AEM and that, and an AEM and that. Never had any issues. Those can run you like 175. Boost gauge, like, that depends where you get it. I run an AEM boost gauge in that, more expensive. This has a good old Amazon Prime, and that has like a basic just vacuum boost gauge that's like $40. I think this one's close to $40. I think that one's closer to like $150 in there. So this, keep in mind, this is not a fully rippable tuned car. There's no tune on it. Fuel pump stock, injectors are stock, no tune. It makes boost, it richens up, but is not tuned. Marco ripped on his untuned for about 6 months, and then it lost compression. That one's tuned, absolute ripper for what it is. We do plan on having this one tuned so we can have a single turbo versus twin turbo comparison, numbers wise, because they are both bone stock unopened 3.8s. So little time consuming, like I said, but not too terrible of a job, honestly. So there it is. Again, I'll try and tally this up and put a rough estimate in the description. And yeah, one thing I would like to mention is I am pulling this kit off for just some maintenance stuff. If you follow us on our Instagram, I have announced that I may make a kit similar to this, 1 or 2 kits that I will sell, and then we may make just like manifolds that you can build off of. So it'll be this manifold with like a V-band here, and then this manifold, which we may have like an AC and non-AC option with the V-band down in there as well. Probably going to be very limited quantity, just making feelers. So if you're interested in that, you know, follow us on the Instagram. Honestly, that's going to be the best way to keep up to date on that. So keep in mind the post date of this video. If you see this like a year later, may not be able to do this for you. So I don't have a mock-up engine. Since this is coming out, I'll be making maybe 1 or 2 hot side packages to be somewhat similar to this, but it'll be manifold, this cross pipe manifold with a T3 flange, and a probably hole cut for the wastegate in that pipe down there, and that will be that. So if you're interested, easiest way to get a hold of me is Instagram. Send me a personal message. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope that helps you guys out, and I encourage you guys to try it on your own. It's not too hard, honestly. So appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you on the next one.